Hey, this is Doug from GameShampoo.com, and now I'm going to do the overview of Firefly Online. This was one of the panels that I touched on in the overview, and I promised a more detailed video just because of content. Present at the panel was Andy Gore, the producer, Ben Nickus, art director, Adam, the game designer, John O'Neill, the developer and head game designer, Andrea Romano, casting director, and David Joseph Wesley, the composer. All these people came from their company to present on Firefly Online. Alright, now the big surprise they had about that panel had to deal with Andrea Romano. She had worked with virtually all of the actors in Firefly and wished she'd been able to cast it. Now, doing this game gave her that exact chance since they wanted to bring back the entire cast of at least Serenity, and they got that, as well as a lot of other people too. Didn't get exact details beyond, there's Niska, and a lot of the other kind of background characters have also been able all to come back. Now, let's talk about the game. Time frame wise, this takes place between the show and the movie Serenity. So, Book and Inara have left the ship Serenity. Book just didn't want to deal with anything more. Same with Inara. There was a lot of tension and, just people not really seeing eye to eye. That's the simple way to put it. So, you've got the Firefly Serenity zipping around the verse, which gives you a chance to actually run into them. As well as, you've got Book and Inara on their respective planets. The cast itself is very well spread out, just across the verse. They've also done an amazing job of, building the verse. It looks at our little arm of the Milky Way, and does a great job of expanding out. They actually reached out to someone who had built a complete map of the verse and asked them if they could use that. Using that, they actually built their interstellar travel, which they call going to hard burn. Surprise, surprise. So, when you use hard burn, you go from point A to point B. Then after that, you're just talking about your basics, where you're just literally cruising through the star system. Flying the ship's really simple. You're generally moving forward. Then, you don't have to worry a whole ton about acceleration, because space. The controls, what we saw, and mind you, this is pre-alpha release, so the game's functioning, we get an idea of what it's like, but this isn't exactly meant to represent the final product. The controls for the ship were quite intuitive. I gotta give them credit for that. Now you would see your ship in the center of the screen, and around it you had 4 arrows, 2 on the sides, one up, one down. So by by holding down and moving between them, that let you control your ship. Now, since this was pre-alpha, they were able to basically change their ship on a whim, but, you can change your ship in this game. Ships are expensive. You will likely have to sell your old ship to get your new ship, but, if you can manage to scrape together enough money, you can do it, and have 2 ships. So, that's a thing. Next, let's move on to the ships. We were only shown 4, but it was made very, very apparent there's way more than just 4 ships in this game. Any MMO worth its salt is going to have a lot of ships, or any form of transit, really. So, you start with what they were calling a sandfly. This is actually a fan creation. They reached out, said, hey, can we use this in our game? And its creator gave their blessing. Thus, one of the elements which is already beginning to build the community. By reaching out to the fans, you build interest. This is an amazing thing, and not too many MMOs do it, because they're not working from an existing property. I honestly kind of wish Elder Scrolls had done a little more of that, but That's neither here nor there. So doing stuff like that, they got a number of ship designs, as well as some weapon designs and other bits. So far, we've actually seen 4 ships. The Sandfly, which I mentioned previously, the Kessler, which is a really fancy ship, and I've got more to say on that toward the end of the video. Oh, the Firefly, surprise, surprise. What's Firefly without a Firefly class transport? And the Titan, which was just like a huge 6-engine ship. Okay, that covers that. Next, gameplay. Hey, now I've touched on ship travel. Next, I'll talk a little about characters as well as, just getting around in combat. So, character-wise, you are literally the captain you want to be. If you aim to misbehave, go aim and misbehave. If you wanted to go, hey, I will be Jane if he was captain. As scary a thought as that is, you can do that. And actually, on that note, there's a little thing they did about crew members. This was touched on in the show, and it's great to see this particular mechanic surface inside the game. And there's a form of morality system. You can literally do whatever you want. The crew might not always see eye to eye with you, just like it was in Firefly. Alright, so say you get hired to burn down an orphanage. You would want to bring along the people who are more inclined to burn down an orphanage. Someone like Jane. You would not bring someone like Wash or Kaylee or Anara or Zoe to something like that. That would be bad. They wouldn't like it. Now, this would drain their loyalty, which is apparently going to be a thing. So if their loyalty actually goes down to 0, then they will leave your crew. They will take all your investments that you have put into them, skill points, armor, weapons, all that, and they go into a global job pool, which means someone else can hire them. So yeah, if you peeve off your crewmates enough, you could actually wind up encountering them on someone else's ship, maybe killing them. All depends on how they feel about you and what's going on between those two crews. Actually, that's a pretty good segue. Combat. So, this game's very simple in terms of its combat design, but it doesn't need a lot. It just needs a basic thing. And I'm sure it will get more expanded upon as the game grows. But what we saw was something similar to like, I have to use references because it's a little, it was a grid-based combat system. So something kind of like Shadowrun Returns or like Fallout 1 or 2. I have to be clear there because combat changed a lot for 3 in New Vegas. And, well, I guess Wasteland 2. So you have cover mechanics, you've got aim. It does function on some dice rolls derived from like the weapon stats, your character stats, and just the relative skill. So you will see a percentage to hit your target, you take the shot, dice are rolled, and you'll see if you hit or miss. Honestly, I gotta give them credit for something like that. It's a nice thing to have around. It's simple, you get lots of stuff. It does put some emphasis on gear, but you would want gear anyways. It's an MMO. I'm kind of hard pressed to think of one where gear doesn't matter. Never mind, ignore that thought. So, next, music. I haven't touched on that, and I really should. David Joseph Wesley has big shoes to fill because the original composer did a phenomenal job on the soundtrack to the show and the movie. Now, this guy knew he was going into something like this, and I have to give him credit for this, because he was playing virtually all the instruments himself. Dude plays banjo, man. He plays the banjo. Anyone who can do that gets props. It's not an easy instrument. Now, he felt as though he was trying to bottle the lightning. And we heard a couple pieces of his score, and, you know, if you were there in the room, you could sense and tell it was like something out of the TV show. You need a very kind of Western feel to it, but something a little more kind of modern Western. It's hard to describe. Now, he honestly felt it was like trying to bottle the lightning, which was the music. Now, I have to give him credit because he did a phenomenal job at it. So, let's see. Well, there's not a whole ton more to say at this point. You can actually sign up for an account already. They have a website called keepflying.com. I'll put a link down in the comment section below, in the description. It's there for a reason, above and beyond saying, hey, this video is about blah blah blah. Well, in this case, blah blah blah, I mean Firefly Online. That is awesome. Okay. So, final bit I should touch on. While ship-to-ship combat is not an option starting out, because, this is going to be a thing. They have told us if they get to the Independence Wars, then it will become a thing. At present, you can participate in boarding actions. No, seriously, right from the get-go, Reavers can board your ship. So you're going to want to be careful about that. Maybe keep a section of a ship exposed to vacuum. Depends on how you want to do things. Oh, right. Final bit. I mentioned a note on the Kessler. Well, the team told us that by signing up early for the alpha and such, one, the account you make is going to be the account you will be able to use in the game. So if you do this now, when this game comes out, it'll just be like punch in your username, password, you're good to go. No, you can just create your character, you don't have to create an account because you've already done it, and you're done. Next, for signing up this far in advance and just kind of showing the support and helping these guys along, because that's what it really is you will receive a new starter ship. Well, a different starter ship, the Kessler, which is a very fancy ship. I must give them credit for that. Also, I'll track these guys down on Facebook and talk with them. They love getting feedback. They want to hear what people have to say. And in a way, I'm kind of boosting the signal on them. But it looks to be a really exciting property and something that fans of the show, Firefly and Serenity, they have been wanting. Everyone's been wanting to go back to the verse, and this game lets you not only do that, but live in it. It looks to be an amazing game. Yeah, I know that a lot of what I saw was relatively unpolished, but honestly, it's already around on par with some of the stuff I've seen on Elder Scrolls Online, which is a much higher budget game. And so, boost the signal, tell your friends about this, go sign up for them. And as well as, hey, do us a little favor, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can keep sharing all our video game knowledge with you. Well, thanks for watching.